Yeah, so just welcome everybody again for 1010E. So we hope that we have an enjoyable programming experience for this semester. Yeah. We will start with a lot of information for this course, okay? Because this course is really big. A lot of you may be blur in the middle. We have a lot of assessment and this and that. So we just want to go through everything. But first, introduce the people. I would like to introduce our team. We have a whole army of TAs and lecturers, okay? So first of all, this is me, okay? So you can just call me Alan, okay? I don't mind. You can just call me Alan. You don't have to call me Professor Chen, whatever. It's okay. Just too old for that. Okay. That's how I did it in US with my supervisor also. Even he's a lot older than me. Okay, just call me Alan. If you can tell, I'm from Hong Kong. Yeah. So, but actually, I already is a Singaporean. Okay, I've been here for 20 years. Yeah. I'm from Duke and UIUC. Yeah. Anyone know what is UIUC? No. Anyone what is famous in UIUC? Anyone know what is the first web browser? Huh? What is the first web browser? We have Chrome now, we have Brave now, we have Edge now. What is the first web browser? Somebody will say Netscape. Netscape is not. The first web browser is called the World Wide Web. It's true, I'm not joking, okay? It's the first web browser is called World Wide Web. And it's some UIUC, okay? So that's my time. Just introduce a bit myself. My original research is geometry, which is games and manufacturing and all those 3D stuff you are seeing, okay? So if you're interested to doing, some of yours did an honor year project with me, okay? So let me know. Yeah. Just want to say usually I would say a code. What I really believe in, I believe in code, pray enough. Okay, I like coding myself. I start coding when I was, 6. Okay, and then, of course, love is important. Yeah. And later you will find out in this course why you need prayer. Okay, you need to pray for the code to work. Okay, so this is me. I hope you figure out who is me over there. This Prof. Koo. I saw you. Yes, Prof. Koo is over there. There's another lecturer. Okay, this course don't only have one lecturer. Okay, there's Prof. Koo there. Is our very experienced lecturers. He's beloved lecturers. Okay. The other one is here, Henry, Dr. Henry Cha. Okay, so he's very good at teaching. He actually before me, he also teaching 1010E for a long time. So you are in very good hands. Okay, we have been, all of us are very experienced in handling this class, and of course our programming skill is okay lah. Okay, so and of course we have a big TA armies. So now you didn't have a time to meet them yet, but you'll meet them next week already. A big team. This is 01 now. Okay, I didn't update that. Okay, we have a big TA army. You have 800 people. Is it any of your relatives there? Maybe they may hope it's not your dad. Okay, so not so soon now. Okay, so some of the TA already graduate and so on. Yeah, and of course you welcome. Welcome to this course, and let's have some fun. We will talk about a bit on the course overall. What will we do and so on. First, you know that we have lectures on Monday and Tuesday, and today should be the most people. Yeah, because we know that after we have recordings, the lecture will have recordings. Okay, but we highly encourage you to come. Why? What is the difference? You go to a cinema and at home watch Netflix. Well, both have its advantage. Okay, but I hope you guys come and have some engagement and ask questions will be better. But of course, watch Netflix, you can like fast forward or it. And we do have tutorials. Actually, I don't care how do you call it. You can call it tutorial, you can call it labs, okay? It doesn't matter. It's a period that you go and do some hands-on work, and the TA will go through some more details. Because I think in lecture, I will tell you the overall usage of Python. But only in the labs you really do it Later we'll explain why. You only learn Python when you do it, okay? I cannot be like copy and paste from my head to your head, then you know how to do it. We'll explain a bit why. And later on, for those people who may need more material to catch up, because I think usually people will get behind a bit. We have Q&A sections. We have some remedial for people, okay? So that's the overall course structure. Just introduce a bit of what we will use here. Also, I already saw some questions in the poll everywhere. The most default one you can use is idle, okay? That it was our Python compiler. You can directly go to python.org, or you can just Google it to search for anyone. But we don't mind you to use any other IDE. You can use others like PyCharm, you can use Jupyter Notebook, whatsoever, okay? You can use Microsoft Visual Studio Code if you know what is that. It doesn't matter. One big thing is in this course, we will use a system called cosmology. The cosmology is an automatic system. Let me switch to that screen. Yeah, so you will see something like that. This is our cosmology page. We will only post the first 2 weeks lecture notes and tutorial on Canvas. Afterward, we'll just leave Canvas. We'll post everything in cosmology. Probably some of you already have the invite, right? Prof. Koo, am I right? Prof. Koo is, yeah. So you already got the invite, you can actually go there. Cosmology will have all our even past files. If you go to that, even you have the past lecture notes, you have even the past video. Okay? You have current video, you have analytic. This is what all the video in the past. I will actually get it out one by one. So you may want to watch the video before the lecture also can. Okay, and so on. So we'll never let you miss any of the video. We haven't released any yet, not to confuse you. So this is the big system. You get used to it. You have tutor to ask, so don't worry about that. One more important thing is your assignments and your later on your examination, some of them will be on cosmology. Cosmology will take your code and run it to test it for you. Okay, more info will be in the tutorial. We will have midterm and so on, but one of the very difficult assessment, which is the most evil one, is our PE. PE doesn't stand for physical education. Okay, we're not going to push up. We are doing practical exam. What it means is we need you to code. So the 2 hours exam is not answering MCQs or not answering essay question. The 2 hours is I will give you some problem, you will code. Okay, this is called PE. And what the PE did is because we need, make it short, we need to prevent anyone from cheating, including using AI. So for the PE, we need you to have some special setup. And the special setup is the Safe Exam Browser and Glide, okay? Glide is actually, you can go and search for it, NUS Glide or NUS SOC Glide. It's actually an online Python editor. You have to use that, okay? But we'll do more because the PE will be at week 10, okay? So you still have some time to enjoy your honeymoon, okay? So we'll talk about that later. We may use ExamSoft, okay? We will use ExamSoft. We will definitely use ExamSoft, which is the Exemplify for your midterm and your final. Okay, so that is it's not a virus, but the apps will lock down your computer, and you can use your own computer to answer question. Usually we use paper and pencil, right? We give you a bunch of paper, you fill in, and then we mark your paper. But the ExamSoft is a digital system. You can use your own computer, but of course we'll lock it down. You cannot, let's say, use your WeChat to ask, how do I answer this question from your friends and so on, right? So we have to lock down. So Exemplify is actually, ExamSoft is a software for you to lock down your computer and do our exams. Okay, and one last thing is OpenCampus. It may be optional, but I will say this is one of the crucial things if you want to get an A. I don't know how many of you want to get an A, okay? But if you want to get an A, do some CATIS problem. CATIS in a word, CATIS is, we call it competitive programming. I think some of you will heard of something like Math Olympics, right? Math Olympics is to test math. CATIS is called competitive programming, is to test your programming skill. So it's a similar concept. Each country or each university sends some teams and they compete through this. But the good thing is the website have thousands of problems. And the even better thing is all the problems are classified into difficulties. From difficulty 1 point something, which just print hello world, to difficulty 9 point something, which you need some AI or whatever to compile. Okay, so but of course we won't require you to be 9 point something. And other system other than CATIS is like LeetCode. I don't know anyone heard of it. That is very important for your job interview. Okay, if you want to get a tech job, LeetCode and CATIS is your companion. Okay, and the quote here is, CATIS a day, keep the fail grade away. Okay, but it's true that CATIS in some sense, there was one period of my time is very addictive. You just want to solve it and solve it and solve it and solve it again. It's quite addictive, okay? So we'll mention that later. But we will not grade anything on CATIS, okay? This is just like vitamins. You can take it supplementary, but if you want to get an A, you must go for that. Okay? The most concerning thing which you care most is how do we mark you, right? This year we changed a bit. As usual, we have 7 assignments. The 7 assignments are 14% of your course. Okay? Just make it frank. Some people just copy assignment. Let's just be honest. But I would say it's just your own loss. Because if you copy all your assignment, you only get this 40% at most. And your PE, whatever, will just fall down and you don't know how to do it. Okay? You can copy all you want. This 40% is not enough for you to pass the course. Okay? So my suggestion is don't copy. Later we'll have a big 10 minutes talk about copying, okay? The other reason why we don't copy is you pay for it. Anyone go for, let's say I want to go to Europe or go to Japan, I pay for everything and then let other people to go and come back for me to see the video. You don't want to do that, right? You pay for it. You pay for this course. You want to learn something. And you copy the assignment without learning anything. I don't know why you want that, okay? Yeah. On cosmology, there's a lot other assignment for you to, which is not graded. It's called training. Each topic have a lot other exercise for you, okay? And we don't take any attendance. I don't know whether it's good news or bad news for you, okay? It's up to you because we believe that our lecture is engaging enough for you to come. Our tutorial is informative enough for you to come, okay? The attraction is for by our material and contents and iteration and our setting, okay? So we believe in that. Also, tutorial don't have recording, okay? I just want you to know. Lecture have recording, tutorial don't have recording. PE, of course. PE is 22%. This year we changed from 2 PEs to 1 PE. Okay, we have a big debate on that. Why we want to go for 2 PE is because we want to give you a wake-up call. Okay, but now we want to merge some of the PE material into the midterm. So hopefully you can get a wake-up call at the midterm. We have 1 PE at week 10, is it? Something like that. It's on the canvas, okay? I don't want to say something wrong. All the date is on the canvas already. Please go and check. But before the PE, we'll give you 1% mock. You do it, you get the 1%. Okay, the mock is for you to get familiar with all the system, to set up your system and so on. But you say, why I need to concern about so much system, whatever. Sorry, I guess you guys are engineering people. We have to set up system. We have to do it all the way. Okay, so I hope you can get used to it also. And lastly, we have a midterm. Midterm this time is 20%, and we also have a mock also. The mock is not focusing on how many questions you get right. The mock is just focusing on you can get it. So if you can even just download the mock, submit it without doing, you can do it, okay? But I want you to experience, because the mock midterm will give you some questions, it's very easy to answer, but you can get familiar with the system. How do I click? How do I do that? Okay, so it's for you to exercise. So it's up to you, how do you use? Of course, final is final, okay? So that is all our assessment. Hope it's okay. One more thing, we'll talk about it later. Every assessment, you are only allowed to bring one A4 size cheat sheet, okay? That's all you can bring. You cannot bring a bunch of paper, you cannot bring your laptop, you cannot bring whatever. This is just discriminant, just to be safe, okay? We reserve the right to change it a bit for our marks adjustment. Just close down the mic. Usually we use it to save some people, okay? For example, there are some student that is like almost passed, we'll adjust it to save some more students and so on, okay? So we reserve the right to change this percentage unless you want to sue us, okay? Yeah. Also, I know it's not, I mean, for us, it's very normal because we have been in university for so long. Please don't expect the assignment to be full marks, okay? Each assignment is not going to be full marks. You accept the first few. The later assignment, don't expect it to be full marks. Okay, the assignment may not be full marks. And it's not high school or JC. I know that a lot of you come from there, but it's not like that. I told you, this is 0.1, 2, 3, 4. You do it, you get full mark. No. Not in my course, and not in university, and not in real life. I hope you guys realize that, okay? In our secondary school, I don't know about you, I'm from Asian background. Secondary school is it lists out 0.1 to 9. You can finish them, you get 100 marks. Not anymore. The more you have, the more marks you get, okay? And we want you to generate knowledge, generate the code. This is very important. In this course, I know it's idiot saying, right? You feel it was so dumb why I say that. But most important in this course, I want you to write the code. I don't only want you to have the code. Can you tell the difference? I want you to write the code. You need to generate the code yourself. If you have the code, I don't know where you get it from. You can get it from your friend, you can get it from AI, you can get whatever, and submit it. Yeah, maybe assignment I cannot detect, but I want you to write the code instead of get the code and submit. Please be very clear of that, okay? Yeah. And also, I want you to know, after university, it's not copy and paste anymore. In real life, you go to work, if you can get a job, your boss tell you everything, you did it finish, probably that job is not going to be high paid. Okay, you see all those Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, whatever, they don't have a boss to tell them what to do. Okay, you go and fly your rocket. Yeah, so there's just, so in grades in general, this is, one more thing is, this course is not bell curve. Do I need to say it 3 times? This course is not bell curve. So you don't have to go and worship the bell curve. You know we have that thing, right? So you know last year, right? Somebody put, I don't know if you see the news, in NUS, there was this little trail. There was somebody put a little figure on the road and start worshiping. Putting the sacrifice or whatever, Luke tried to worship the bell god curve after that, okay? But anyway, I want to clarify one thing. Actually, the term is not bell curve. I think you are meaning relative marking. That means this course have 20% of people get A, 30% of people get B, so on. No matter how many people is there, no. Those are called relative marking. And actually, the real term is not called bell curve. Because you have like 800 students in this course, very normally you will form a bell curve yourself. You have somehow a bell curve, okay? That is just a normal distribution. But what you are talking about is how many percentage of students will get A or whatever, in which we do not follow that. As educators, we actually set learning objective. You need to, I need to know how to use variable, then you get certain marks. You need to learn how to write a function, you get certain marks. You can solve the problem, you get certain marks, okay? So that means layman English, I talk too much pedagogy terms. Layman English, if everyone did badly in this course, sorry, all of you fail. If everyone do very well, all of you A. Okay, so that is what you do. So you don't need to sabotage your friend, okay? Like pour water on his computer or get a dog eat his homework. Don't need to do that, okay? You help each other to get A, okay? So that is the main thing about this course. So in general, you don't do anything, you get F or D. Actually, I would say I use a lot of word actually because I think you need to be very determined to get an F and D. You need to go to the mirror and say, today I need to get F and D and so on. You need to be very determined, choose to get F and D. Because that only happens in the past is those students who don't come for anything. Like their assignment out of the 14%, they actually got like 5%, which is they're not doing some assignments. Midterm, they miss it, or the midterm full 100 marks, it's only got 20 marks because 20 marks may be the luck mark, you know, expected value, 5 choice. You close your eyes, you are supposed to get 20% and so on. So usually you have to be very determined to fail my course, okay? Because usually, to be honest, I really observed for my course a long time. Usually those people who fail my course are we call it phantom student. They don't appear. They don't go for whatever. They don't submit things and so on, okay? You want to get a C, somehow you need to know how to write some functions, okay? And come on, 13 weeks. 13 weeks, even you memorize a function, you can do it, okay? You can memorize a function. So 13 weeks to write a function, the function is like 10 lines of code, maybe. If you cannot do that, you cannot get a C, right? So C is like you can write a function. B is you can use those functions to achieve some objective. I can use it to solve a problem. I can use it to calculate something. Okay, so there's a B. And of course, we will have a gear around you need to solve Cathy's question of difficulty 2.0 and so on. And A is you did more than I thought. Yes, you did more than I thought. I'm not going to teach you everything. Okay? And you are going to do your Cathy's 3.0 and so on. And you can solve 4.0. Congratulations, you're quite safe to get A plus. Okay? So this is what around the requirements we want you to do. A lot of people just will be happy at B and C, okay? It's okay. Okay, but if you want to excel in this course, it's very easy. Just do get this question. This is the following is the percentage we have last year. Not last year, I think 1 year ago. 2 years ago. So it's about, we got about 30% people can get A. Okay, actually last year got more. Again, this is not fixed. If you are very good, I can push it to be higher. About 50% people will got B. Okay, so those who got C and D are quite low. But you can see that it's actually a peak in D and F. It's very interesting. These people are totally don't come, whatever. That's why they are like falling off. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay. And the assignment, we're going to do it on cosmology. Is the first 3 assignment is weekly because it's too simple. Later on, the assignment 4 and so on will be bi-weekly. You're going to submit the cosmology. What do you mean by submit to cosmology? Just quickly say, after you do the code, you copy and paste the code to cosmology. You can test run there. Cosmology will tell you, oh, your code is right or wrong, whatever, will tell you some of the hints. But after you finish, at the very bottom of the line, have a button called finalize submission. That means I'm done. I'm going to submit it. It's like normal. You submit a real exercise book to your teacher, something like that, okay? That is called submission. So don't forget to press the finalize submission. Otherwise, you get late. However, why is this line what is this was unsubmit? Because every year, I think it's very minority, there's some student, I accidentally click the final submission, or my dog click the final submission, okay? Because once you click the final submission, our TA will start marking. So we don't want to waste our TA's hours. But on the other hand, we also give you some freedom for your error, right? Maybe your dog click your final submission. So we'll let you to have one chance of unsubmitting the assignment each semester. Is it okay? 7 assignments. Hopefully you don't get more than one mistake, because maybe it's your dog click your final submission. Maybe it's the right moment you click final submission. Suddenly you're enlightened. You have a better idea of doing the homework. Okay, so we give you one chance out of all the 7 assignments for you to unsubmit. The first 3 will be very easy. The second one is harder. The late policy is we have the deadline on the cosmology. 1 day late will deduce 1/3 of your marks. 2 days late, you will deduct 2/3 of the mark. 3 days late, you submit for fun. Okay. We still encourage you to submit if you want, because our tutor will still mark you, but just no marks. However, why we have the late policy, to be honest, the other philosophical thinking of education is students should be able to do whatever, whenever they want, like whatever pace they do. There's some people think like that. But I think among your very tight schedule also for other courses, we want to keep you paced, okay? So keep up with our pace. And again, programming is not a subject you can suddenly get very well in 1 week. You need practice, okay? You need slowly practice. So that's why we keep the pace, want you to keep up with our course. It's not just we enjoy the manipulation. It's not like that, okay? So we want you to keep up with the pace. Yeah. No excuse for any extension of the assignment except run some serious one, for example, hospitalization, something like that, okay? But to be honest, some of our later assignment is 2 weeks. I would say some of our students can do the assignment within 2-3 hours. So I give you 2 weeks to do 2-3 hours of work should be more than enough, okay? So please do your assignment properly. Yeah. And some experience from the past, only the graded assignments are from cosmology. You don't need to do all those others for grades, but you highly recommend to, okay? This one is hard, right? Once the assignment is easy, do it as soon as possible. How many have this virtual? How many think that the teacher give you 2 weeks to do assignment because the teacher give you 13 days to worry and 1 day to work? Okay, so please don't procrastinate. When the assignment come out, at least you read the assignment, is okay? At least you read it, read the question. And then you can think of it when you're taking a bus, you think of it when you are in maybe toilet, when you think of it is you are dating your girlfriend, okay? So you can actually first read it first. Yeah, and assignment you don't get 2 marks. One thing is the assignment will have, we call public test case and private test case. The public test case is just only for you to verify your formatting. And we have other private test case to grade you. So do not think that you pass all the public test case and you get 100 marks. Okay, this one submission chance, okay? And actually one good way to do your assignment is Also, you can ask your tutor in your lab. You pay for it, remember, or your parent pay for it, okay? You pay for it. So go to the labs and ask the tutor about your assignments and so on. My tutor will not tell you what to do, but at least can tell you what is wrong, maybe what direction you can go, and help make use of what you pay for, okay? Yeah. PEs, we talk about that is it's not 2 PE anymore, it's 1 PE, okay? So one thing about makeups, we have a very large class. So we make it very simple. Makeup is only eligible for NS and MC. Okay, so there are I tell you, there's a big spectrum of other people. There's one request last year is talking about they want to go to worship his ancestor. So they want a makeup, okay? So I'm not laughing at him, but he may have his good reason for that. But I hope you know that we have a very big variety of, a big spectrum of serious to non-serious reason for asking for a makeup, okay? So I just make it very simple, only at MCs, for boys, Singaporean boys, if it's NS, okay? So what makeup does not qualified is if you do trainings or halls or whatever, those competition, I'm sorry, no makeup for those, okay? However, if it's really serious, but too bad, Olympic pass already. There's 1 year really, I don't know whether you know, one of your seniors won the Olympic dancing, ballroom dancing. He's from our class, okay? So that one, I let him to go lah because Olympic lah, okay? So he won the medal, okay? So case by case basis, but in general, even with your hall master give you a letter, we have no makeup, okay? Yeah. And there will be no more makeup for makeup. That means, let's say you are eligible for a makeup. Let's say you got COVID or CHOI or whatever, you can get a makeup. And the other one, you also cannot go for the makeup. Too bad, okay? No more makeup for makeups. Yeah. Also, this is maybe doesn't seem serious, but I just want to add it as discriminant. NUS rule is not my rule. If you enter the hall, start doing the assessment, maybe it's midterm or PE, when you start doing it already, you suddenly fainted or whatever, or cramp. Sorry, you cannot do the makeup. It's okay? Once you started it, you go in contact with the assessment, you cannot have a makeup. Okay, too bad for that. So assess your health condition or whatever condition before you go into the makeup, okay? And actually, the thing is, nowadays getting an MC not that difficult, right? Yeah. Okay? And warning is your plagiarism. This is a serious one. Sorry, I don't want to go through it, actually. But I want to say that because the school requires to do. Actually, I want to skip this part. Plagiarism is not copying only. In a word, plagiarism is you submit one sentence. Plagiarism is you submit some work is not from you. It's plagiarism. Even you go in, I find it. No, it's not, okay? So a few cases we do have serious problem in the past. We are even in the newspaper before. So please do not try out and help each other, okay? This newspaper notes. And after the big saga, a lot of students got caught, and actually their comment is, I wish I knew it earlier and I don't cheat again. Okay, so don't be these people. These are all in the notes. I don't want to bore you, but go and read it. These are real cases. These are not opinion, okay? These are real cases. And direct copying is cheating, okay? Of course, you do your Python and you email to your friend and submit, of course, cheating. Okay? Referencing. I think people like referencing. Your friends did it, mail to you, and then I look at it and do my work. That's also cheating, okay? There's also plagiarism. How about group work? Wait a minute. I think NUS encourage us to do collaborative learning, right? So we can do it together. You can. you can do the discussion, but if you come up with the answer, you go home, you email to everybody and submit the answer, that is plagiarism. But how? Is it contradicting yourself? The correct way to do it is, this is not plagiarism. You can do it together. And you can get a code, but you need to erase the original copy, go home and do it yourself again. Okay? That is not plagiarism. You can do that. But of course, you can say, I got photographic memory. Don't tell me, okay? Okay. No. People can assist you. You can ask whatever people assist you, but the key point is the same as discussion. After you can do the homework, you need to scrap it and do it yourself again. Okay? That's clean, not plagiarism, and so on. But anyway, I want to tell you that there's different level of plagiarism we encounter so many years. Like the level 0 is just copy. Level 1 is, some people will say, oh, I get the code, I add some comment, I change variable name, I add some user lines, whatever. There are people doing that, okay? There's some people even, oh, I modify the code, I extract them and restructured it, and even something. But I want you to know that all of them are caught. Our plagiarism checkers can detect this. Let me tell you one fact. Plagiarism checker for code exists before you are born. I guess nobody here is older than 30 years old, right? When I was in undergrad, wow, it's more than 20, 30 years ago, we already have plagiarism checker. So I don't know if you can be more clever than the plagiarism checker, okay? So don't do that. But let me tell you what is the real reason you don't want to do plagiarism. Okay? First, you pay for it. Second, the reason you don't want to get plagiarism is because Alan, teach a course in Master of Computing. What is it related? I'm teaching the course in Master of Computing. Where's my browser? Here. What is the course of Master of Computing? A lot of your seniors, after they graduate, they need to come back and study Python again. Okay? Because they want it. They need it for the Master of Computing to continue to add on their engineering degree or whatsoever. And do you know how expensive this is? One course, like for example, CS1010E one course, costs 3,000 Singapore dollar. Okay, I'm not kidding. I'm talking about fact. I'm not telling you an opinion. Okay? And we have hundreds of students every semester coming back to our NUS Master of Computing to re-study Python. Then why are you wasting your time here? And also for these people, they need to work. They have a real job. After 8 hours of work, they have to come back to study Python again and pay for $3,000 for each course to study Python again. Why don't you do it now? Yeah, and also I think Python and any programming language is some kind of a literacy now. It's like English or language or math. You need to know for any job, okay? So I hope you guys can take this seriously and do not do plagiarism and you copy anyway. And anyone who copy and being copied has the same guilt, okay? Yeah, about this course, I want you to know that it's hard work. Some people think that, oh, we have the computational thinking, very happy, right? It's like anyone go to those cooking class before? Cooking class, right? They give you some red wine, you just, wow. They say, nice. And then just put the fish in the pan and then just talk. Oh, it's ready, let's eat. Those are cooking class, okay? But we are not. We are like a culinary degree, okay? We need you to know every details of cooking. I need you to know what is the difference between boiling point of oil and salt, and what is the difference, you add pepper and so on. What is the difference between, you have to remember every part of the cow, which part of the beef is for what. I need you to know all of this, okay? Don't treat it as a cooking class. And this is, anyone play games? Okay? And this is the so-called computational thinking level. This is our level. Anyone played this before? Oh dear, I didn't start that. I hope I don't need to watch the ads. Oh dear, I need to watch the
炎
ads.
热的天气、突变的天气和空气污染可能会导致喉咙疼痛。Strepsils 有2种活性成分，杀灭细菌和提供舒缓效果。Strepsils 缓解喉咙疼痛，还你舒适。
That's unbelievable.
Yes, this is our PE level.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Me and this level are currently in a relationship, and it's complicated.
They die, I think.
Oh yes!
Okay. This is. I want you to see how many times he has tried. If you see the video, I actually play it very like late. He has tried many times. I want you to know that if you want to get an A, you need to go to this level. Okay. So how to be a good programmer? I don't know anyone watch today's whatever is superhero movie or this kung fu movie. Nowadays we have one big problem. All this movie didn't tell you how they become strong. Human just came out is already can one person fight 10 people. Spider-Man come out already can like beat everybody and so on. There's no movie talking about that except you go back and watch Jackie Chan's first movie. This is Jackie Chan's first movie. Jackie Chan's first movie in 1.5 hours, 1 hour 20 minutes is talking about how he's being trained and tortured by his Sifu, his master. And only the last 10 minutes is talking about how he finally beat the boss. Okay? I want you to know that nowadays the games are getting easier and easier. It's very forgiving. In my era, when I play games, unless you're playing Elden Ring or Dark Souls now again, the games are very forgiving. Okay? You know what I mean, right? How many understand what I mean just now? How many play Dark Souls, Elden Ring, whatever here? Yes, okay, you know what I mean, right? Now again, the game are very forgiving, especially your handphone game. Your handphone game never lose. Okay, so please don't be spoiled by this era. Yeah, and nowadays games difficulty in the past is harder and harder, but now game difficulty is easier and easier. Okay, the hardest part you play a game nowadays is the first 10 minutes. After you get the powerful armor, get the powerful weapon, get the powerful spell, you just own the game, okay? So it's not like that. So please do not treat our skill like that. And last thing is, Python programming is about practice. It's the same thing you do pianos, do ballet, do bicycle, do whatever, this sport, you need trainings. And that's why we provide for you, okay? We provide you training. And what is training? This one. Hey, where's my browser? What is training? This is training.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Do it again. Oh no, that wasn't it. Pick it up. Bit of a late reaction there, mate.
Okay, why I show that is because Wait, you cannot watch that. That's my, I don't know why okay. Why I show that is because, hey, I lost all the progress. Why I show that is because, here. Why I show that is because my theory of learning in Python is, remember this, this is actually the most important statement in today. The amount you learned is directly proportional to how many mistakes you make. Does it make sense? You make more mistakes. And anyway, the mistake you make in your computer won't blow your computer, won't burn your house. The more mistake you make, the more you learn. It's true. I'm not saying for your hand clap, okay? It's very true. Make more mistake. Try to blow up your Python. Try to kill your computer, okay? The more mistake you make, the more you learn. And to be honest, it's not a tips. It's also true. The more mistake you make, you definitely 100% can answer more questions in my midterm or final. Okay, it's all about that. I give you a question and say, what is the problem? You make that mistake before, I know it, I can answer, okay? So please remember to do practice. Yeah. And at the end of the day, this is like just saying that if today I tell you, hey, come to my class, everyone come to my class, everyone is a programmer, everyone can earn 20K per month. You feel like I'm more a scammer than what? If I can give you a skill everyone can get, do you think that skill is precious? And very soon you'll be being replaced. Okay? Only by your hard work, you can have some skill that no other people can replace you. For example, those Olympic people or your piano, can somebody just simply replace those? Cannot. They have to gain to that level. People cannot replace you, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, there's blood and sweat. Okay, anyway, so this all in the notes. I'm not going through that. And just want to comfort you for all the experience before, people all think we are okay lah. We are teaching well lah, okay? They can learn things, and from even you are from zero background, we can elevate you to a level that you can do at least some AI or something, okay? Yeah, at the end of the day, what do you get from 1010E? You can, of course, you can continue on your major or minors. I don't know whether it's a die-hard cook for your engineering cannot get a CS minor, but definitely you can switch to major. If you want to switch to CS major, I'm not trying to steal people, but definitely your CS1010 is a crucial course for you to switch to computer major. Yeah, and everything is programming. I don't know which engineering you're from. Your electronic engineering, your electric engineering, they're actually programs. Biological engineering, whatever plants is also program. It's just that may make it like that. And definitely not only this physical thing is a program, definitely you write some program to govern the whole system. Chemical engineering, the chemical plant you're doing is a big program, okay? And even mechanical engineering, civil engineering, they're all program. You build a house, architect is all program. Actually, it's a program in real life form. Okay? Even biological engineering, when you do experiment, how to do a plant to cultivate things, and mechanical, whatever, it is all program. So learning programming skill is not only for you to pass a course so you can get a degree. Okay? And of course, dating is a program. Okay, how do you date and whatever is a program, okay? How do you ask for a favor, it's all program, okay? So hopefully you can get some advantage. And last, this is all the important information which is already in Canvas. Please go and take a look on all those dates, okay? Make sure you don't clash with wow. Hello, continue. Continue, okay? And if you, so we chop this first, what I mean is, if you have other courses that clash with us, please tell your other course trying to get them away from us. Okay, we have one of the largest costs. It's hard for us to organize any other timing. We cannot move our 800 people. Okay, so and before we go to real Python, I want to tell you one thing. In this course, you either success or what? In life, is either success or what? What? You either success or grow. Okay, do not be afraid. You are still in the you are still in student stage. You success, okay, I can make a program, or you grow. Okay, so I will take a 5-minute break. We'll start talking about Python. At this time, if you want to ask any question, please go to the poll everywhere. We'll talk about more things. Okay. First of all, can I check if we can attend for the Monday lecture, even though we are registered? Doesn't matter. You can come for Monday, Tuesday, okay? As far as I think the baseline is you have seat up or you don't mind sitting on the floor, okay? It's okay. Doesn't matter. That is totally okay. Yeah. Can I use my personal preference, Python Gamma? You can for your any of your homework, but our PE, you need to use our glide. Okay, so just PE. So you may want to get familiar with glide before you do your own PE. Are we required to install library? Wow, advanced question. You don't. Actually, in a lot of our PE question, we have the limitation. You cannot import any packages. Okay, for example, one of our assignment question is asking you to implement the binomial function. Anyone remember that? N2C, something factorial, something like that. And actually the math library has it, but I want you to implement it so you cannot import any of the package. Generally, in our whole class, we don't need you to import any packages. But we will introduce some interesting packages. For example, we'll introduce the image IO for you guys to do some Photoshop and so on. Okay, so but that is on top of that. Can we get started on Cadence? You can do whatever you want. Cadence is a totally independent system. Let me show you. You search for Cadence, and here you click it. Yeah, this is Cadence, okay? So you can log in, get your login, and then submit a problem. You can play around with it. You can actually go and the most easy way, first you need to get a login first lah. And then you click the problem, and you have thousands of problems. What you can do is you can sort it by difficulties. Of course, you don't want to kill yourself now by doing 9 point something. You click it again. It's sorted ascendingly, okay? So this is all the problem you can solve by the easiest first. The easiest one is you have a difficulties marking here. What is the difficulty? Yeah, so 1.0 is the most easy problem. And you can choose some of them to, I would say you get bored with 1 point something very quickly if you're following this course, okay? You quickly hop to maybe 2.0 and so on. So the catalyst will, so what you do is you click here. You can actually choose all English. Yeah. And then hip, and that is the problem. The problem is, yeah, say hip, just need to output 20 lines of hip array. Yeah, that's quite simple, right? If you know how to do it, you know how to do it right away, okay? And just output 20 lines of hip array, okay? And here you can log in and submit and so whatever. Then the system you try to learn yourself. It's fun, okay? Okay, so oh cool. I cleared the questions. Any more questions? Where's the okay? Yeah. How is the practical exam and other coding exam conduct on our own? Yeah, we are planning to bring your own device, so you need to use your laptop. We'll give more details later, okay? It will be week 8 or week 9 or week 10, something like that. You will use your own laptop. I think you need to use a laptop. Just now, one of the students asked, can you use iPad? I think in our assessment, you must use laptop. Type faster, okay? Can we get started? Yeah, please do. Please get as soon as possible. Okay, so let's continue. Today, real meat, okay? You can see this introduction to Python is 127 slides, and it's already 5 o'clock. We are not going to finish it, okay? We are going to finish probably 50, maybe. Yeah. I will speed it up a slight little bit. First of all, what is programming? This is programming. I get it very fast, okay? It's how he eat dinner. We get the potato, okay? Dip some sauce. Asparagus, dip the sauce. It's not anyhow, there's a drumstick on it. The sauce for the drumstick. And so on, okay? I'm not going to finish it. This guy is famous for this art. They call it the kinetic art, which he do a lot of this. You can search for that. The name for this art is called kinetic art. He do all this to make a coffee. I think it's a coffee. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah, and so on. Okay. I want you to know that actually this is a kind of programming. Programming in a high level is I want to set everything up. And when it starts, you follow all I set up and going to perform the function I want. For example, or this guy, the function is you want to eat a dinner. Okay. So people will have different way of thinking what is programming. Some people think that you're programming, you play games out, your mom said, okay? Some people is think that you're creating money and different thing. Just imagine that if there was this time you need to go for a carnival, okay? But you are not actually playing it, you are actually the shopkeeper. You want to organize this is called Prinko. What it does is you want to run this booth, and when the customer come, you let them play. The Prinko is like that. You put the ball, and then it roll to a certain place, and then you get the prize. Okay. So for example, you have three different prizes: the big, the small, and the medium. And your boss said, okay, for those big prizes, teddy bear, you have 10 of them. For the water gun, you have 51 is for the medium. And if anyone who got a small one, is the pathetic candies, okay? How do you run the booth? Okay, so you will run the booth until the end of the day. What do you think is the potential problem? Yes, I heard that. Run out of some of the prize, right? What if some suddenly don't know why this person can calculate so nice and every time got the 3, and then you run out of teddy bear. Okay? And good, this is actually what we need the mentality for programming. You need to think of all the unknown possibility, and if you just simply give an instruction to your employer, let's say this is the guy who runs the shop. I tell you, if somebody gets a 3, give him a bear lah. If somebody give a 2, give him a water gun lah. This is kind of programming, but not a good program. So just now that you have to think about what is the missing pieces. Okay, that is what you need to do. And a lot of time before we go on, I want to tell you that a lot of time this is going by trial and error. You try it. maybe this one time you really try out and the guy call your boss, hey, boss, cannot the teddy bear run out? How do we do? Somebody is going to blow up our shop for that. and thing on, okay? You may want to go through some trial and error, but after some experience, you know that, oh, I can actually do something like that. If somebody strike a free, only if I have a bear, I give him a bear. But that means if I don't have a bear, I don't give him anything. So I want to modify it further. I want to do something like that. This is programming. If you do coding later on in Python, in our assignments or whatever, you are doing this. Just in a different language. As in, maybe you now, when your mind is thinking, you convert it into your language. I don't know what is your language. Maybe your language is German. Maybe your language is Chinese. Maybe your other Indian, Japanese, whatever. I don't care. But we just want to convert this into Python. Okay. Even further. Okay. So this is how we do programming. And actually, I already introduced one of the important things about programming is decision making. Later, I will teach you what are the few building blocks. If ever your program have this if then else, we call it if then else. Under certain condition, you will do different choices. It's called selection. Yeah. And the second one is repetition. That means I'm going to do this. It's only for one customer, right? And you have to do it for the next customer, and you have to do it for next customer. We call it repetition. So just now, I just want to say two very brief introduction is all programming basically have these two big components called repetition and selection. Okay? Yeah, and all this is called pseudocode. Pseudocode is the form of your program that you write it down before you transform them into real code. And one of the mistakes a lot of students make is when they go to PE or they do an assignment, they directly want to start typing on the keyboard and write the code. If that code is that simple, I'm not going to test you on that. Usually, you need to write out the logic either in pseudocode. The other one is use flowchart. Flowchart is like making decision, if there's animal price, otherwise I close shop. If I get Pringle, did you take a free? If it's yes, I try to see any pair. So you can actually write down your flow chart of your thinking like that, okay? This is not only for programming. As I said in the previous part, any of your discipline, no matter your electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, you all have to do this, chemical, whatsoever, even in your life, okay? And so on. And I don't know, anyone played or read this type of books before? The game book. When I was young, I like this. The book is not go by page. The book is go by the first page. Oh, you are in a forest. You see there's a cave. What will you do? Will you go in the cave or will you just walk by? If you go in the cave, flip to page 20. If you just want to ignore the cave, you go to page 30 and the story go on. Anyone play this kind of thing before? Or anyone D&D or whatever those games? Or actually the games you play are all this, right? So they're all programmed. And this the way of represent the program is actually called flowchart or pseudocode. We all call this algorithms, okay? Depends on what is the pronunciation. I once was being mocked by one guy. He said, it's not algorithm, it's called algorithm. Okay, it doesn't matter. Actually, my accent is quite heavily Hong Kongese already, but it depends on the algorithm. Algorithm is from a person actually he's a Persian mathematician. Sorry, no need to be so chim so profound because actually you all know some algorithm. How do you multiply two-digit number? 21 multiply 16. How do you do that? There's a certain way, right? You multiply the digit first and add it, whatever. Those are algorithms. How do you factorize some of the so-called your math formula? It's algorithm. Even how do you write an English essay? I need to first decompose into introduction, development, conclusion. It's algorithm. All these steps are algorithms, okay? So it's actually not new. You know about, for example, how do you find prime numbers? It's algorithms. Yeah, so I want you to divide this into two parts. Algorithm is actually a thinking, a concept. But programming language is a specific implementation. It's like when I talk about how do you multiply numbers. You can think in your mind in your own language, right? You can think about in English. I don't know what other language you are thinking in now. When you're thinking in Chinese, you are thinking in German, you're thinking in Italian, whatever. That is a special, but the underlying way of doing things will be the same. It's called the algorithm. A lot of you don't need it now. You need it in your fourth year when you do final year project. You will do some project. The project will have an idea and an implementation and a content. But maybe let's say today you are in NUS, you write in English. But after you do the project, I want to go back to my own university to write a paper there. Then you convert it into whatever language. So it's exactly the same as our algorithm. Today you also learn some algorithm, but you can do it in Python today, and later on you can do it in C. You can do it in Java. You can do it in whatever ladies' name language. What does that mean? Do you notice that a lot of language, computer language, are named by a lady? Miranda, Ada. I'm not talking about my ex-girlfriend. I'm talking about different programming language. There's a programming language called Miranda. There's a programming language called Ada, and so on. Okay. So no matter which language you're programming in, you can actually use the same concept of algorithm. Okay. And finally, let's start Python. Okay. Why we learn Python? Yes, because my department asked me to. But no, I want you to know that Python is, if you want, this is a very interesting article talk about how people develop language, computer language from start. In the beginning, it's only 0 and 1. That means they need to program the computer by 0 and 1, type 0011001100011 to make the computer works. But later on, they start to convert it into assembly, they convert it to other code to make those computer language work. Okay? And why Python? Python because it's very clear and readable, very intuitive, very easy, okay? Let's try. And also it's very popular. And the good thing, this is the best thing I like Python. Python can write code in a lot more shorter way than other languages. This is a real case study about Intel, PayPal is a real application. I actually don't know what is this XML serialization, what is it? I don't know what is it. But it's a real case. They said that if you want to write it in C++, you need 1,500 lines of code. But if you write in Python, you only need 100 something code. It's like 1 to 10 ratio. So Python is very good at writing very concise code for that. And a lot of system use it, whatever you're using. But one thing here, I also want you to know, for example, Facebook or Google, of course, now not the whole system is being written in Python. Usually when you go in a software company, one software can be written with many, many languages and they cooperate with each other, okay? But Python will be definitely one of them. Okay, let's see how good your Python is. Can you tell me what this code will print? Huh? Huh? Why you guys are so rude? Can you tell me? What? You guys are mean. Okay, that's just a little joke for that, okay? Yes, this code will print no, okay? This is real Python code. You already understand Python now. So can you see how easy and intuitive it is? Yeah, although that, of course, if I need to ask you to write, you may have some syntax error and this and that. But even reading, you can see Python is very readable and very, very simple to understand. And I always compare this. Python is like driving automatic drive. How many of you know manual driving? Wow, you guys are pro. Better than me. How long have you been learning manual driving? How many hours? Maybe 10, 20, 30? Boasting time. You know how many times from my no experience to get my license, how many hours I learned? I only learned 4 hours. There was an emergency when I was in the state. Something happened. I need to drive in Saturday. So I go and learn 1 hour in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I get a license. Of course, that may credit to my experience in my Daytona or racing games. But on the other hand, the real reason is because I drive automatic. Automatic is no skill, right? You start the car, you drive. Python is like that, okay? Python is almost like automatic car. Yeah. And some terms of that, we are using idle if you want to download idle. And it's called integrated development environment. But I know you guys may not appreciate it now. Normally, computer language, you need to use different apps to get that running. You need to first use an editor, a text editor, to edit the code. And then you need a compiler to convert the code into machine language. And then you need a linker to link all the compiled code into an executable. Then you need another app called debugger to help you to debug. But nowadays you have all integrated in one. That's why it's the good thing about Python. Okay, let's start. Okay, you can do it together. Okay, if you have a laptop, you can do it together. These are normal screens of Python. Usually Python, you have two big screens. One is the console, one is the code editor. Okay. Let's go for some demo together. Okay. Installation. I hope you did it. Okay. And if you don't do it, you can just go to python.org, or you can Google to just Google it. Okay. And download the Python installation. And here, when you go to download, usually you directly will prompt you what is the correct download files. If it's Mac, it's Mac. If it's Windows, it's Windows. And you have a version number, and doesn't really matter which version you're using, unless as far as it's larger than 3.6 or 3.8, it's okay, okay? And probably you will download 3.11 or 3.12 from now. So just download the newest version and run it and install it on your computer. Okay? I give you 2 minutes to try if you haven't do it. Okay? For those who have done it, if you click the idle apps, you will quickly have this. First of all, I want you to know there's no fear, okay? You won't destroy your computer whatsoever. So don't have a fear that, oh, no, how am I going to? So when you start this is called the Python shell. Why is it called a shell? This is probably is new to our generation, because the first time you touch the computer, probably in your area is the mouse. But it's not in the beginning. When in the beginning, we all typed. We tell computer what to do by tapping without the mouse, okay? It's called a shell. You can type things in the shell. You can try yourself if you have downloaded it already. Type some formulas, okay, like Excel, and it will actually help you to calculate. For example, you type 3.3 plus 7, it will come up with 10. The blue words is the printout number, okay? You can calculate your mortgage now, or how much money you own, whoever, okay? You can try to do that. And I just want to explain the first thing about Python in shell is REPL. Here, when you do this, you're actually under a cycle called REPL cycle. First, you type 3 plus 7, right? After you press enter, Python will read it. It's the R. And then Python will evaluate it. That means, what does it mean by 7 plus 3 or 3 plus 7? Python, you evaluate it. This is very important. After Python evaluate it, you cannot assume it must print. the print is an extra step. So you have REP, there are 3 steps. This is important later because sometimes it won't print. It's normal. Okay? So Python will print out your evaluation is REP, and then Python will let you to write another code again, or put in another line again. It's called loop. So this REPL is a normal cycle in your Python shell. Okay, so just introduce what is this read, eval, print, loop for you to do in Python. For example, you can try this. Let's say I give you a real problem. You have $10,000. We are richer, and then interest rate is 4%. How do you calculate how much money you got out of 1 year? Okay, you can try. Okay. Not compound, just 1 year. Okay. If those who have computer, you may have some red words telling you it's wrong, whatever is okay. Okay. So it's try on your computer. Let me show. So I can say 10,000 times 1 plus 0.4. Yeah. So this is the money I got, right? After 1 year. What if now I want you to say, hey, interest rate rise now is 5%. Easy, right? But let me teach you one small trick. Usually these tricks are like not documented, but do you need to retype the whole line? No need. So what you do is, see, my cursor is here, right? Instead of typing the whole line, I press up. Do you see that? I press up, and here I enter. Then I copy the whole line down there. And I can go and make it, instead of 4, it's 5. And ta-da, this is my new answer, instead of typing it, okay? And we have a lot of this shortcut and so on. And before we go on, one thing about computer science is, I don't know if it's good news for you or not. Think as lazy as possible. Anything repeating, boring is not a good practice. Okay, it's controversial, except the practicing part, as in you have to do more exercise. But anything, if you need to retype it or copy the whole lines, is not going to be a good practice. Okay. And of course, the thing about this is not so good. What if tomorrow your mom asks you again? Then you need to retype the whole thing again. So usually we don't do everything in here. What I'm doing just now is something you should not do. What you should do is, you should go to File, New a File. And this is your file. And these 2 windows are different. The new windows I create is actually a code editor. The left window is your response. So instead of doing this, here I would say print 10,000 times 1.04, okay? And then this is actually the real job you should do every day, and you save this file somewhere. For example, I save it on desktop. I save it on desktop. It's called my bank calculation. Hey, wait a minute. After I save, there's nothing happened. Why? Because every program you need to execute. You need to run it. So you can actually add more lines first. That's it again. I am rich. Okay. And after that, you see, I save the file, and nothing happened because I haven't executed it yet. I haven't run it yet. So what you need to do is you need to make it run. by a lot of ways. First, you can go to run and run module. Do you see that? It print out, and you can run it again if you want. I'll run it again. Yeah. So you see, I'll run 2 times. In which I will not do it because you can just press F5. Then just run, okay? That's what I usually do. Just press F5 and you get it run. So this is simple Python programming. And one of my emphasis here is do not code in the shell. I tell you, there's one interesting phenomenon that will surprise Henry. Even in week 10 PE, some students directly work here. I define a function, check, whatever here, directly work in the shell. No, you should create a file. It's like a normal Microsoft Word, right? Will you, every time you want to print a document, you actually type it from scratch again without saving? No, right? You won't do that. Excel, Microsoft Word, you will create a file, save it, and print it, right? So remember, do not work directly in the shell. The shell is for you for some simple quick testing and so on. Okay? So this is how a normal Python development do. You can even open a few windows, but just make sure you are running, you want to run the correct code you want to have. Okay? So you can run a file. What you should do is you can create a window and write down your code, save it, give it a proper file name, and run it. And this is a normal development cycle because remember, you have run and you should edit the code from time to time to continue. And in Python, actually just now I already introduced something. If you want to type, you can actually say x equal to 1, y equal to 2, and then what is x plus 1? So for example, this one is a equal to 3, b equal to -1, c equal to 2, and you can ask what is 3 plus 2. Where's my Python? The more appropriate way here you should do is, let's say, balance is equal to 10,000. Rate is equal to 0.4. So I want to print balance times 1 plus rate. Okay, this is normal Python code that gives the same answer. But what I use here is I change a bit. I use balance and rate. They are called variables. And I hope it's not new to you. You use variable, right? When you're in your school, you say x, y lah. Always the teacher asks you where is x. I think my x left me a long time ago already. Yeah, always ask you to find x. Okay, so but then there's the variables. Later we'll talk more about the variable. What is the proper name for that? You can see you don't need to only call it a single letter. You can give a name to it. On the other hand, print is a function. Did you recognize it's all about math? What are the functions you learn in math? Cosine, sine, log. Oh yeah, those line may come back. But anyway, those are called function. But I want you to see that function is actually an input-output. From now on, I want to change that. Function is what does that mean? Cosine 0 equal to 1, right? What does that mean? It means I put 0 into cosine, and it's like a machine, I produce a 1. Okay, so where are we now? Yeah, first, let's go through the variable naming. Next week, we'll talk about the function. First of all, you can name the variable with all the alphabets, numbers, and underscore. Just now, remember my variable is called balance, right? Balance are all alphabet. You can also use the underscore or numbers. And all variable names are case sensitive. Okay, so I can actually say Python I can say it's a balance underscore of original. And then actually I can say that balance after 1, I use here is equal to balance times 1 plus 0.4. Okay, then I print balance after 1 year. Then sorry, I spelled balance wrongly, right? Oh, balance original. Okay, then I can name by my variable like that. And in tutorial, we'll give you some good or bad names for you to test, okay? But one thing about variable is the variable is going to store different things. Just now, my variable is storing a number. But you can store different type of things that was in a variable. You can store a string. You can store other things. But I think those will be another half an hour. I will just stop here. I will just introduce them. In Python, you can store integers, float, boolean, string, or there's something called none. What do you store in the variable? None. That means your variable is storing nothing? No, it's storing something. What is that something? None. Okay, none is a thing in Python. Okay, but we'll talk about that later and we can do type conversion. Okay, so I think I will just stop here and hopefully you can try yourself with the Python doing crazy thing and see what is the fun thing you can do. And before we end, let's see any other questions on the forward everywhere. Do I have to buy a laptop? You probably need a laptop for the exam. Okay. To be honest, I will feel that probably you have some maybe you have a reason you cannot buy lah. Okay, maybe it's because it's hard to get. But one base thing, if you really have problem with your laptop, for example, some of your students may have problem that my laptop is too old, I cannot survive for 2 hours. Email to us for the assessment. We may be able to loan you some laptop for the assessment, okay? But it's not a lot. No, don't 800 students all come. I want a laptop, okay? We don't have 800. We may probably have 20 or 10 laptops for people who don't have their own laptops, okay? Would sharing and using the algorithms for assignment be considered plagiarism? Yes, of course. Can I attend another lecture on Tuesday? You mean you want to attend again? No, again, there's no real restriction of who attends Monday or Tuesday lectures as far as their seats. Okay, so welcome to see me on Tuesday. Thank you. So that's all for now. You can still stay back and ask me questions if you have anything, okay?